Alan Parsons talks about working with the god of Hellfire, Arthur Brown. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music. Arthur Brown. Obviously, I didn't know who that was back in when iRobot, Tales of Mystery came out. I looked him up because of the way he sang. I went, oh my God, who is this guy? Did you go back with him? And was his reputation in that studio? Because he's just this larger than life, literally colorful man.
Yes. His big hit was a few years before Tales of Mystery, a song called Fire. Mm-hmm. And everybody knew him for that. And he had a reputation of setting fire to his headdress like that. Mm-hmm. When he played live. And he's the most down-to-earth guy you could possibly imagine if you actually meet him face to face. But his persona on stage and in the studio is something else. And when we played in the song Telltale Heart, he sort of was like, oh, that's, yeah, I think I've got it. Yeah. Play it to me one more time, and we did. And then he went into the studio, go on the mic, and then suddenly he becomes the crazy world of Arthur Brown that we know and love. And he was, throwing his hands around in the air and screaming and shouting. It was an amazing experience. And 2 takes, we had it. It was great. I also did songs with Terry Sylvester, who was the guy who replaced Graham Nash in the Hollies. Graham Nash left the Hollies just as I joined Abbey Road. So I saw him there for one session, and then he was not to be seen again.
Well, how different was Tales of Mystery and iRobot to make? Because see, for you, the first album is not like you've had so much experience going into Tales of Mystery and Imagination. But what was different about actually doing that first album as opposed to iRobot the second? Was there anything different about it?
I think we had a degree of confidence that with the success of the first album that we would be doing okay. It wasn't a complete shot in the dark, and we'd done a multi-album record deal with Clive Davis for iRobot onwards. So that was another injection of confidence, as it were. I remember thinking iRobot I was proud of it, but I remember being at the time much more proud of Pyramid. I said that this album is a great deal better than iRobot. But whenever I'm asked what's the favorite album, I always say the first. Tales of Mystery is still my favorite album.
I like Pyramid because there was a part of it. I found Pyramid to be, first of all, I love the cover. I just blown away by the cover. But I thought it was more commercial, a little bit more commercial and more palatable for me at that time. I don't know.
That was probably Clive Davis's influence. He was always looking for a hit song, and I'm not sure the Pyramid really had a hit song on it.
Going into Tales of Mystery and Imagination, is there anything you would tell yourself, and don't get me wrong, it's one of my favorite albums of all time, is there anything you would tell that young Alan Parsons going into that project, that's something that you may know now? What would you tell him? What advice would you give him? Or would you just leave it as it is?
Don't trust anyone. That would be, I've been the victim of a number of music business nightmares, but that would probably be the first thing that came to mind. I mean, creatively, I'm very proud of everything I've done, but sometimes the business has been really, really unkind, and so many people in the music business will tell you the same thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of hands in the pot, that's for sure.
Exactly.
We'll have more from Alan Parsons coming up in the next 2-3 days. This series will also feature older clips from our first interview with Alan about a year ago, and clips from not the most used singer for Alan Parsons, that was Eric Woolfson, Alan Parsons' partner, but Lenny Zakatek, who sang a lot of their popular songs. We talked to him a couple of years ago, and we thought we'd fit some of those clips into this series. He's an amazing singer. That's coming up in the next few days. Make sure you support our channel You can use the 2 P's. One is Patreon. You get early access to our videos. Or if you just want to make a donation, there's a PayPal link in the description. Also in the description, links on how you can pick up the new Alan Parsons album or how you can pick up the Alan Parsons Project box set of all their studio LPs. It's all in the links. Make sure you share our videos on social media. We'd appreciate that. It makes a huge difference. And remember, we read all the comments, like our video, and subscribe to our channel. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music.